to the Democratic Republic of Congo now, where the United Nations Human Rights Office has sounded alarm over a surge in human rights violations and killing of civilians in the Democratic Republic of Congo's eastern region. In the latest report, the UN accuses the Allied Democratic Forces armed group of targeting civilian populations and sexual abuse. It says that the group killed at least 849 civilians in Irumu and Mombasa territory, located in Ituri province and in Beni territory in northern Kivu. For more on this, I'm now joined by the Director of the United Nations Joint Human Rights Office in the DRC, Abdoul Aziz Thioye. Thank you so much indeed for joining us and welcome to the program.
Hi, good evening, Peter. Nice to join you tonight.
All right, so the Eastern DRC has been a problem for decades now, to be fair. What have you seen happening recently that's not what we've been seeing in the past years?
We definitely were alarmed by the surge of attacks in Beni territory in North Kivu, but not only in Beni territory. These attacks were extended to the neighboring province of Ituri, where several civilians were killed in the territories of Mombasa, but also in Irumu. This is a new tactics that have been definitely adopted by the Allied Democratic Forces that actually are murdering civilian and also looting and kidnapping civilian in this area. We have seen this pattern of violence since quite the end of 2019, where we have seen the increase of the military operations launched by the FARDC against the positions of this armed group that really allowed them to dismantle these bases. But in the meantime, it triggers the scattering of the rebel group into mobile and small groups that are actually capable to really bypass the different position of the army and to attack the civilian as reprisal of definitely the military operation that are actually being conducted by the FARDC.
So who do you think is responsible for these attacks?
Definitely, with no doubt, we documented at least during 2020, the last year, at least 115 attacks attributed to ADF. Clearly. Of course, we have several other Mai groups in that area. And of course, the confusion may exist, but we know the modus operandi that, that is used by the ADF. And with no doubt, all of these attacks we have definitely reported definitely were actually attributed to ADF.
What do we know about this group, the Allied Democratic Forces? What's their end game, if there is one at all?
Definitely, this group is definitely active in the DRC, in particular in this nearby the Mount Rwenzori, nearby the border with Uganda since at least 25 years. It is well known. This group was quite really collaborating and living in quite good intelligence with the different communities, doing their business, farming, cultivating cacao, and also exploiting timbers and some natural resources activities in that area, but they became definitely violent and very active since 2014. And we know that in 2015, the leader of this group, Jamil Mukulu, was arrested by the Tanzanian authorities and handed over to the Ugandan authorities. And actually, he's facing a trial, but the trial is still pending since 2015. This is also something we highlight in the report, where we recommend the Congolese authorities to, through the regional cooperation mechanism, to engage with the neighboring countries for them to contribute definitely decisively in the fighting against impunity.
Are you sure that it's just the allied democratic forces that are involved in these attacks? We spoke to another analyst a while ago, and he seems convinced that there are neighboring armies that are coming into the country, and part of their work is about getting resources on the ground.
As far as definitely the area we are speaking about, that where we conducted our different investigation, meaning the Beni territory, this area going from the border from with Uganda to onwards to Butembo, and also further north to the province of Ituri. We know definitely that we have, of course, over there different armed groups, small local Congolese armed group, but also this foreign armed group, which is actually not only composed of some Ugandan citizens, but also more and more Congolese people from Congo, but also people from some combatants, but in a few number coming from outside of the DRC, but also outside of Uganda. But yes, it is. We cannot. I cannot say as far as these attacks are concerned that definitely these attacks are perpetrated by armed group or armies coming from the neighboring countries.
Are the authorities, the Congolese army, do they have the capacity to deal with this, or do you think perhaps that there isn't enough will to put enough troops in the ground to face the ADL forces, ADL forces?
As I said, since October 2019, we have seen a massive, big operation, military operation launched in the Beni, in the what we call the Great North of North Kivu, meaning the Beni territory, where we have the huge presence of the Allied Democratic Forces. We have seen quite successful operations because the FRDC troops succeeded to take over many places that were previously occupied by the ADF. But in the meantime, as I said, this rebel group changed the tactics, using mobile small groups to definitely escape and hide within this rainforest, and to attack the civilian as a way, as a reprisal against the military operation. It's a way to create a climate of terror to trigger some mobilization and demonstration by the civilian population against their own army in the Beni territory. We have seen for example, in Beni, a demonstration by civil society movement against the FRDC, but also against MONUSCO troops, which is also actually creating a lot of problems. But it contributes to the strategy actually adopted by the ADF to spread terror among the population in order to mobilize them against their own army.
All right, Abdoul Aziz Thioye, we're going to have to leave it there. Thank you so much indeed for giving us some insights on this concerning situation that continues to develop in the eastern part of the DRC. Let's hope that the authorities can really tackle this and do it quickly. Thank you so much.
Thank you.